my boy up right. He knows when to check if he's getting checked out or not. And then it goes through the cycle of Paul leaving his number on Stacie's car. This a little bit stalkery. But, and then he tells me that she's an attorney, and after our first Palm Springs trip, I kind of figured he would end up dating an attorney. I just thought it would be a defense attorney, quite honestly, and not a prosecutor. But I guess, Stacie's one of those that you keep your friends close and your opposition closer, right? But the best part of the story about when they met is when Stacie actually called him. She made him wait, I think, the 2-3 days, right? That all the movies tell us we have to. 2 days. And he says to her, or he finds out on the phone in the phone conversation that she's seeing somebody else. And his response to that is, okay, call me when that sucks. And that's my boy right there. So while he's taught me things like etiquette, how to tie a half Windsor, I taught him how to be a pig. So it's kind of a give and take kind of thing, right? But it's, in that kind of relationship is where my fascination with this friendship stems from. We truly are like the odd couple. Even with the homosexual innuendos and assumptions that people have. We take very vastly different paths, but I think we get to the same place. Some examples. I take Paul to Palm Springs. He ends up in jail. He takes me and my girlfriend to England. Paul introduces me to Ted Baker. Thank you. I introduced him to Levi's. I should mention he still buys the $250 pair of Levi's. But, he takes me shopping on Melrose, I take him shopping at outlets. He takes me to the fancy movie theater, the one with the lazy boy recliners and the waitress service. I teach him how to sneak in Mike and Ike's to the dollar theater. But I guess opposites do attract. And I know many of you out there, you don't know Paul like I do. I hope you all get the chance to know him as well as I do. But I want to tell you a little bit about the Paul that I've gotten to know over the last 6 years. I got to tell you, he's the single most incredible guy that I think has ever graced this earth. And it's not just the friend that you are to me, Paul, but it's the friend that you are to my son, to my girlfriend. Paul's the type of guy who helps me come up with things like our group PhD, which stands for Paul, Hank, and David. And Paul's the one that plans a Vegas trip every summer for the two of us to go and have boys' time in Vegas. He's like an uncle to my son. And I'm not just saying that because, like, the rumors about being in the closet and you have to call him an uncle. He really is. I should also mention again that absolutely no one really knows what happened in Palm Springs that night, so I think I'm kidding there. Paul's also the type of guy that, he's the type of guy that's on your kid's emergency contact list at school, because he'll drop anything if that kid needs him. He's also the type of guy that takes a handful of those little cards of the naked call girls off the floor in Vegas and puts them in my kid's suitcase when he's flying to his grandparents. Paul's also the type of guy that'll spend 2 hours during World Cup soccer in a bar.
Football.
No, soccer.
You're in America now.
And he'll spend that 2 hours trying to convince this hot Latina chick you just hired at Disney that you have, the one you have the huge crush on, that even though you're a white guy, even though you smoke, even though you're divorced, and even though you have a kid, 4 things she swore she'd never date a guy with, that you're worth giving a chance to. I have to thank you for your efforts that day in the 35 for Paul. You brought the love of my life to me. And I credit you for that. I think she says she blames you for that. But he's also the friend that'll drop anything in the middle of planning a big wedding like this, in the middle of buying a house, meeting deadlines at work, anything that he has going on when you're fighting with that girl, just to come be by your side, to make sure you get home safe if you need to tie one on to get over it. Make sure, more importantly than that, he's also the type of guy that's going to put his arm around his best friend and say, David, that was just stupid. And you really need to call her and tell her it's your fault and apologize. But he'll also tell you he loves you and he'll never judge you. Paul's the type of friend also that makes his parents beam with pride when they realize what a great job they did of raising this man. You know, you guys have thanked me many, many times for being a good friend to Paul. But you guys are the ones that deserve the thanks, because I'm the one that should be honored. I'm the one that's lucky. You know, he's also the type of guy that in-laws get excited about getting to introduce around to their friends. He's the type of guy you get to tell your friends, hey, look what a great man my daughter married. The kind of man that you know will love and respect that daughter, just like a father thinks she should be. Stacie, Paul's also the type of guy that's going to make a great husband. You know this. I don't think you'd marry him if you didn't think so, right? I'm hoping. You have a good education and stuff. You know, Paul's the type of guy, as you know, that'll stop by the Cheesecake Factory and pick up that pumpkin cheesecake when you've had a bad day. Hey. Just to cheer you up. He's the type of guy that'll watch Julia Roberts movies with you. And I'm sorry, but I can't bring myself to imagine any real man enjoying those movies. So I'm thinking it's you, Stace. The kind of man that even your best girlfriends will get a little bit jealous about you getting to say he's your husband. And I got to be honest with you, Stace. I'm even a little bit jealous of you. No, it's illegal for me to marry him. That's not what that was about. But you see the way I see it? The way this relationship is supposed to work? You get to be his best friend now. And I hope you know you're still going to have to share him with us. I want you to know what an honor that is. And, I'm happy for you. I think you're quite lucky. It comes with some responsibility. I'm going to give you a little bit of advice, and I won't pretend to give marital advice, but I want to give you friendship advice because I think that's the most important thing in a relationship is that, you're married, you're spending the rest of your life with your best friend. And this little bit of advice is something Paul keeps telling me because I told him one time. Friendships are easy. It's relationships that are hard. And I think if you can just keep that best friend relationship between the two of you, the rest will be easy too. Just continue to like each other, even when you don't think you can love that person anymore. I think I'm down to my last page now. I figured you guys would be applauding for that. No, I can feel Joey starting to give me the stare. But friendship with Paul is even easier. He's the most loving guy, the best friend, the most thoughtful, caring individual, loves unconditionally, will do anything for you if you're his friend. And I'm happy that you get to share that now, even if just a little bit jealous. All right, so I swore I'd do the toast off the cuff. Yeah. That was the speech, right? This wasn't the toast. To Paul and Stacie, please just continue to make each other happy. I've never seen either one of you smile as much as I've seen you smile today. Continue to share yourselves with each other. Continue to share yourselves with all of your friends, all of us, those of us who have come out to support you tonight. And honestly, more than anything, just love each other. Love each other like I love you both. Congratulations.
Right here, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Wonderful.